So you can let everybody know that we're streaming. I posted up on Twitter that we were going to be live. But
yeah, I was posted in the Discord then.
With YouTube being down, I don't even know if people know that it's back up yet. Because I was having trouble earlier.
My video didn't properly publish. I went onto my second account and it wasn't on the thingo. I actually had to go to my channel. And I didn't get a notification for it on my actual account. So connected to my phone.
Yeah, I mean, I went in and I was looking at my, hey, what's up, Ragu? How are you doing? I went in and looked at my stats for the video, my Arrow review. And
yeah.
I was like, why are the numbers not going up? Like, I know I'm not going to get 1 million views, but, you know, every hour it should go up a few hundred. So I'm like, why is it not going up? It was really weird. Hey, what's up, guys? Hello, Ragu, Victor, Laura, Flashpoint, Wolf E2, Carrie, Mark, let's see, Boss, Flash 20,208. Your name is so ridiculous, but I always have trouble saying it. Iron Fist 2003. How are you guys doing? So, welcome to the first official after party for the first week of shows coming back. We had Flash last week, so we just talked about Flash, and I'm kind of glad that we did have 1 week dedicated to that because so much happened in that first episode. But this week we have 3 shows to talk about. No Flash attire. No, it's Batman. This is Batman shirt tonight. This week we have 3 shows to talk about, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on just one show. We're going to start off with Supergirl, then we're going to talk about Arrow, then we're going to talk about Flash. We're going to let you guys sort of drive the narrative a little bit. So if you have questions or anything like that, you know, as always, you guys can toss them out there. Me and Pagey are just going to have a conversation. As you guys can see, Pagey's here with me. But we're going to keep this, we'll keep this about an hour and some change. I don't like to go much longer than that. So anyway, let's start off and get this out of the way and talk about Supergirl this week. So the reason why I'm glad it's first in the week because we can do it first in this video and just get it out of the way. I don't know about your review, Pagey, because I think I caught like half of it because I did mine shortly after you uploaded yours. Supergirl feels like it's having a tough start. What do you think? I mean, I feel like Melissa not being there at the beginning caused the episodes to be weird. Like, we'll have to wait and see the second episode, but there was definitely like a different thing going on in this episode.
Yeah,
this,
American. I thought it was like an okay episode, but it didn't feel like a premiere. Like, it almost felt like what Flash was this week.
Right.
Like a second episode or like a third episode or something. It didn't feel like a premiere. While I think Arrow definitely felt like a premiere, and Flash for the most part also felt like a premiere.
Mm-hmm.
So
man, Melissa, how can the star of your show not be there for the first 3 weeks of primary filming? I just I don't understand.
And like they knew about that for a while. For a while, they knew that she wasn't going to be there. So, I mean, they honestly could have done. Honestly, if I was writing this show last season, I would have done like a Death of Supergirl. Sure, it's going to piss off Superman fans, but it's going to make sense for your storyline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, make it that she versus Rain and they die. Like, almost treat Rain like she is a world killer, so maybe treat her like a Doomsday-esque sort of character. And just either, you know, kill Supergirl or get it like she's like ridiculously hurt. Like it's almost like coma-esque. She goes like comatose or something like that.
Right.
And she has to either go to like the Fortress of Solitude or something, or even just into some sort of hibernation. And she's gone for the first 3 episodes. I think people will be fine with that. But it just seems like this is just going to be all messy and the shooting's been all over the joint. And like, what is it?
I can't imagine from a production standpoint how difficult it was to do all of that stuff on location and everything they were doing without Melissa actually being there. I mean, I didn't think she actually came back until like the 4th episode.
Oh, wait till episode 4 was the first one they filmed, and that's the Power Rangers episode, so that's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, and another thing is, I brought this up in my video, and I actually was talking to my brother about it earlier today. The only ship on Supergirl right now is James and Lena. That's the only one. And I feel like the only reason that ship exists is because of the fact they don't have any other ones on the show right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if that ship wasn't there, it would be the first show in the history of the CW to not have a relationship in it at some point in time.
Yeah, like after like a certain amount of episodes.
Right.
Like obviously the pilot episodes and stuff.
Yeah. What's up, Legacy? How are you doing? Okay, so the addition of Nicole Maines, I believe is her name, that plays Nia Nal. I thought she did really well in the episode. I'm actually very curious to see what they're going to do with her story. We know that she's a trans character, so they're adding her to bolster the diversity on the show, which, I mean, I think anytime you can add something, someone else to the show that can help drive the narrative in a different direction, I'm okay with that. Because, I mean, you don't want a bunch of the same characters, and that's one of the big problems with these shows is you have a huge cast of characters, and there's like double of everything, and you don't really want to do that. So I'm kind of okay with that. Plus, she reminded me of like, you know, season 1 and season 2 Kara. So
yeah,
that's kind of cool.
And even though they tried to play it off like Kara was almost like Cat Grant, I don't think she was like Cat Grant. I just
where
was
was
in that sort of position.
Giovanni goes, where was Snapper Kara? He popped up for one season and then he just disappeared. I think he took a sabbatical.
Wasn't he only in season 2?
He was, and he took a sabbatical after that, right? Wasn't that what happened? Like he went on his own way and did his own thing or something. I'm okay with him not being there. I wasn't a big fan of that character because I realized that he was just there to drive that storyline of Cat Grant being gone and James being in charge and all that. So, okay, so Legacy, when they say a trans character, Nicole Maines is, if you don't know who Nicole Maines is, she is a trans woman who was part of the bathroom bill fight back in 2013 and went on to become an actress. So now that's who she is on the show. I believe she's going to be openly trans on the show too. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we were saying that last night or something, like, it wouldn't surprise if they just like shoved an episode in there, like one episode where they actually go over it. But then for the rest of the season, like it's mentioned in passing or not even really referenced.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's Supergirl. So any story they tell is going to be very obvious. Like, you're not going to get like, they don't do mystery on Supergirl. Like, I mean, Rain is the closest thing to a mystery the show's ever had. So any like stuff that they write in the show is going to be in your face. It's going to be like the most basic. I mean, I'm just being honest here. It's going to be the most basic stuff ever. Like, whatever it is, they're just going to tell you what it is straight up. There's no mystery to it. There's no ambiguity. It's going to be just right in our faces. So I would say this probably is, in my opinion, the weakest premiere of Supergirl since season 1. It felt like a season 1 episode. And that's not a good thing. I think season 1 was the weakest season of all of them.
Yeah, because season 2 had Superman, and season 3, I was arguing we had like one of the stronger premieres.
Right. So, wasn't very happy about this. In the chat, before we move on to Arrow, if you guys want to drop what you thought of Supergirl, give a numeric score, 1 to 10, what you thought of Supergirl premiere. And even if you didn't watch it, tell me what your number is. Like, imagine what your idea of this premiere would be and tell me what the number is in the chat. I thought Mercy Graves was good too. I hope they do more with that character throughout the season. So, all right, with that being said, since there's really no more Supergirl questions, we can move on to the one that I know Pagey is waiting to talk about, and the one that I am excited to talk about too, and that is the Arrow Season 7 premiere we got last night. I talked about in my video that, you know, it was kind of a toss-up for me on what I like better, Flash or Arrow, because I think Arrow had some elements of it that made it, I think, one of the best Arrow episodes we've ever had, period. I mean, there was some stuff in there that was really, really good. I think Stephen Amell's acting in general was at another level in this premiere. So I know you loved it, Pagey, but tell us what you thought of Stephen Amell. Like from your point of view, were you happy with his performance? Because I thought he did a great job in this episode.
Yeah, because they easily could have done something where like he could have been like, oh, I'm in prison, so I'm just going to act all tough and stuff. And that could have been the easy thing that they went down the easy route. But I think he played the character in a bit where he is literally just keeping to himself, like acting as neutral as possible and just trying not to get into anything. And I think Stephen Amell, when he has good material, that's when he performs the best. Like, you goes,
Right.
okay, this is good. But like when you look at when he had crap material in season 3 and 4, that's when he basically phoned it in. And I think if you
Hmm.
asked him, in like all honesty, he'd probably say, yeah, I phoned it in because I didn't think it was good. And
Hmm.
even like season 4, it's like season 4 was terrible all around. I think anyone was good in season 4, and that's because the material was bad, and you can't really work with crap material. You're just not motivated.
Yeah.
Um, but when like in this case, obviously he is motivated because like,
Season
well, this
4 was
is
so tough because the villain was just not the right villain for Arrow. Period.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
but yeah. So, and this is no lie, you guys. And I talked about this in my review, and I think even Pagey and I have talked about this. I feel like Felicity did really good in this episode, and that's not me like being hyperbolic or anything like that. Like, I honestly feel like she was like Emily Bett's acting in this episode was some of her best acting that I think she's ever done on the show. Her scene with
yeah,
Oliver in jail is probably the best Olicity scene that I've ever seen on the show because I believed it. It felt like a real
yeah.
thing. So, outside of the Stephen Amell stuff, you got the Felicity stuff. I know there's a couple of people here on YouTube that have trashed this episode, and they've talked trash about some of the other people reviewing it. But I can't imagine anyone watching this episode and hating most of it. Like, I don't know how you could do that. How could you walk away from this episode and think that it's worse? It's got more bad elements than good elements. I just don't understand how you can do that. This literally was, in my opinion, top 2 of Arrow premieres. Maybe even the best Arrow premiere since the first season.
Yeah, because I from my memory, like, what was even the season 3 one? I can't remember. Season 4, no, season 4 was trash.
Season 4 was the one where they were in like the little
Uh,
the house
I'm
together.
having traumatic flashbacks of you have failed this omelet. You have failed this omelet was just. I don't think you can come. I'm surprised Arrow came back from you have failed this omelet. It was like they dug themselves the deepest hole they possibly could have.
They were making
They managed
breakfast, Pagey. Felicity was sitting on the counter while he was cooking eggs and toast. So,
Oh god, that omelet. Anyway, yeah. So for his season 7 to have like arguably one of if not the strongest premiere is pretty damn impressive. Like I said in my review, like I think maybe the only thing you could really nitpick about and say, okay, that wasn't the strongest thing was maybe Dinah and Renee. They might have been able to leave them out.
and actually,
But I understand.
yeah,
Why they
but the
put them
thing is,
in.
I didn't mind Renee. I think Dinah was the weakest link of the episode. I think she was arguably like if I had to pick, like if you said pick one thing that you didn't like about this episode, it would be Dinah because Dinah has turned into the writers writing. She literally is the character that they give whatever they need her to do to drive the narrative forward. Like and we talked about this as well. I don't know who Dinah is. Who is she as a character? Like, what does she stand for anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, one minute she's a vigilante, she's going against Oliver. The next minute she's dealing with this ex-boyfriend or the boyfriend that she thought had been killed, and then she's like mad at Team Arrow or half of Team Arrow. Then she's going against the police department, trying to do things against them, and now she's siding with the police department, and she's the captain of the police force. It's like, who is this character? I just don't know. But Renee actually, and I've been very critical of Wild Dog as a character. I haven't really liked him. But I think everything he did in this premiere, I think was justified from his point of view. It made sense to me, what he was doing.
Yeah.
How does Laurel from Earth 2
yeah.
become DA? Plot device. That's how she becomes DA.
Yeah.
A lot of people are complaining about that. Have you seen this online? I know you have, where people are upset that Laurel Lance from Earth 2 is now basically Laurel from Earth 1. I know I'm not the only person that feels like that's what they're doing, but there's a lot of people that are upset about that. They don't want that to happen.
Well, if they don't do that, what do you do with the character?
Right.
It's like I think it's the only plausible route that this character goes.
I said this in my review, and I stand by it. I think Laurel Lance is going to end up, by the end of this season, basically being a somewhat gray area version of the Laurel that we already had. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's what I think anyway. I want Earth 2 Dinah flashbacks. Or you mean Earth 2 Laurel flashbacks? Dinah's not from Earth 2, right? No, Dinah's from Earth 1. Um, for a second, you got to excuse me. I've been doing a few things over here in the corner. So, Laurel Earth 2 flashbacks would be awesome. I would love that because I really want to know what happened to her, her past, her history. We know just a little bit of what's on top of that character, but I still think we know more about her than we know about Dinah, right? I mean, this Laurel from Earth 2 is a more defined character than Dinah is. So
Yeah, like Dinah's like, oh, her and Vigilante were partners, and then actual partners, and then he quote unquote died, then came back, and that's Dinah's story.
So Knives says something interesting. Is Oliver's buddy in prison is obviously a spy sent to watch him. We're talking about Stanley, right? Is that who we're talking about here?
Yeah, I think I saw a lot of people that think he is going to betray Oliver eventually.
I don't know about that
Maybe.
one. I mean, maybe.
Maybe, because like, I guess it's smart to send someone small and defenseless rather than like Brick or someone that looks like Brick. I mean, go, oh, help me. Like, no, Oliver's probably not going to help you.
Right. Well, we know that there is another character that Oliver is supposed to be getting to help him on the inside, another villain that we've seen in the past. Yeah. Who could that be? I mean, do you have any guesses on who that's going to be?
No, but like I know next episode he's meant to align with an old enemy, but that could be Brick.
Okay, so yeah, I mean he could align with someone. Yeah, I mean that's obvious. He could align with one of the people we've already met. But Dinah is so boring. They should just bring Laurel back. Well, I think that's what they're doing, honestly. Do you think Diaz is going to be the big bad, or is he working with the big bad? Well, I was actually pretty shocked to find out that Kirk Avocito was up to a series regular for the season. Because I thought we would lose Diaz pretty early this year, like before the mid-season break. But now he's going to be around all season long. I like Kirk Avocito. I think if we can develop that character a little bit more, it may be great. But if he's going to be around, then does that mean we're not going to have an official big bad for the season? That's the question, right? I don't know, Paige. Have you heard anything? Any words on the street about that that we don't know about?
No, I was sort of surprised as well when I saw it was upped to a series regular. I was like, oh, okay, wow, that's interesting. I don't know what's going to happen with the longbow hunters and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sort of confused. It's almost making it seem like this season isn't going to be too much about the villain and more about maybe everything else going on. I'm intrigued, though. I'm intrigued. That's probably the best word to use.
Well, I think, you know, in all fairness, Ricardo Diaz didn't get a lot to work with last season. So giving him more time to develop could be a good thing. Because last season, let's be honest, he didn't really live up to what we expected from Richard Dragon, you know? Dino Dragon says he shouldn't go past the mid-season. It feels too much. Well, I mean, it really depends on who we're going to get as the big bad. I mean, I was thinking the Longbow Hunters were going to be the bad guys all the way through the season. But I don't know. How do we feel about Renee so far? I have to say, this was the least irritated I was by Renee. I've never been a fan of that character.
Did he say this doesn't mean anything, Hoss? In this episode?
I think so, yeah.
Did he say Hoss even once?
Yeah. No, I don't think he said Hoss, did he?
I don't think he did.
He didn't say Hoss. I'm going to have to go back and watch it now. I mean, that's no problem. Yeah. It's a great episode. But I will go back and watch it to see if he says it. Ricardo Turbo Flan is laying it down. He says Ricardo Diaz is just a knockoff Al Pacino. Well, you know.
Well, that's what it was. That's the thing. He was actually told to portray or to channel Al Pacino. That's what Guggenheim told Diaz.
Who's the other guy in jail? Brick, Bronze Tiger, and Runnels. Cody Runnels. That's his name.
Derek Sampson.
Yeah. That's who it is. He's a wrestler. He's the one that Stephen Amell is wrestling. I think he's got his own wrestling organization now, right? I mean, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, something like that.
So, let's see. Pagey, Cicada was the best. We're going to be talking about that in just a minute. So hold that thought. What happened with Helix Dynamics? They went the way of the dinosaur, I guess. Victor goes, I don't like Crazy Dog. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I like that too. I haven't watched the first episode for season 7 yet. I probably will with my sister. Theodoros, you're going to love it. This is a great episode, and I highly recommend watching it multiple times for your viewing pleasure. Clifford says, I'm sad about Vanessa. Are we talking about Vanessa from Flash tonight? Wait, was that Vanessa? Yeah. We'll talk about her in a minute. Yeah, we'll talk about her in a second. He said, yo, Hoss, people need something to believe in. Oh, well, there we go. I thought we would get through it without one Hoss, but I guess not.
One can still dream that we might get an episode without Hoss in it.
So here's the thing. James Banford, I think, he should direct every episode of Arrow. Like, just give him the director status for every episode, because I think there's only one episode ever that he's directed that I didn't like. He just knows, like, he has been involved with Arrow for so long. It's like he has an eye for everything that works, you know? Do you like him? Wait, hold on. That didn't sound good. Do you not like James Banford, Pagey?
No, I'm eating. I'm just chewing something.
Okay, all right. Hoss. I miss Wildcat. How could you? He didn't really do anything. I get Infotex. I mean, you can miss him if you want, but I mean, he really didn't do very much. Look, Chessmaster said he was joking. Damn you, Chessmaster. Yo, Cicada is trash. Well, we'll talk about him in a moment. Fight scenes were good, even with Felicity. I think Felicity's fight scene worked because it was paralleled with the shower scene. If it would have just been by itself, I probably wouldn't have had such a great opinion of it.
Yeah.
Do you think Barry is Green Arrow instead of Roy Harper? No. Let's move away from this and talk about the end of the episode, because I think a lot of people, this is spoiler territory. If you're already tuning into this, you should know there's going to be spoilers. So we're going to talk about everything. So one of the big things was at the beginning of the episode, we're seeing things that look like a flashback. And I'm thinking, oh, we're going back to using flashbacks. But who is this person? Like, I didn't really recognize him. And I'm like, is he someone that's related to, is it really way back in the day? Like before Robert Queen and stuff is what I was thinking. And then we find out that it's a flash forward with William, who's looking for Talia or Roy. Somebody said that he was looking for Talia, but I watched it and I don't think that's what they said at all, unless I missed something. But he finds Roy on Lian Yu. And so my question is, I don't really care about William. William's one of my least favorite characters. But I think the important thing in that scene is that Roy is on Lian Yu. That's probably the thing we're supposed to be paying attention to. So, talking about the fake Green Arrow, I put up my video earlier today, if you guys haven't watched it. And I talk about my theories and who I think is wearing the hood and who's out there on the streets. For real, no one is watching Black Lightning. Is that a question or a statement? I just need to know. So anyway, if this fake Green Arrow is not Roy, I really have no idea who it is. Like, I don't know who it would be at this point, because there's no one left in Oliver's past that does all the stuff that he does in terms of like the way he fights, the way he flips, the way he uses weapons. It all screams like either Oliver trained him or someone that trained Oliver trained this person. That's really the only way it could go down, right? I mean, he even says you failed this city. And I mean, is Stanley the fake Green Arrow? I'm wondering now if Stanley is the fake Green Arrow, because he said it in the episode as well. So I don't know, man. What do you think, Pagey? What are your thoughts on that? Is it William from the future?
Well, that's a theory, but I think we've gone over that. Like, Arrow would be jumping the shark, like jumping the biggest shark of all, like Free Willy, Jaws, Megalodon shark. If they decided to have someone time traveling, it wouldn't work. I'm sorry, it wouldn't.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine how we would react? I'm just thinking. We're watching it. We're talking like 10 episodes. No, we'll go 15 episodes from now. It's almost the end of the season. And they pull the mask off, and it's William from the future. What would the reaction be at that point? I think it would be like, it would almost be the same as when Savitar was Barry. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be...
no one would be shocked. It would just be like, wow,
Right.
really? Like it'd be like one of those.
Oh, Eric, it
Like the
bothered
thing
me.
that like
Go ahead.
the only thing that makes me think like it's not Roy is the fact that he had a notebook. I was
Right.
just thinking like why would Roy have a book of names? And then I thought again and I was like, oh wait, that guy that was doing that was trying to was affecting the Glades with weapons and stuff like that. So Roy's from the Glades,
Right.
protecting the Glades.
We'll
But I
talk
don't
about
think
we can talk about the crossover when we're done with Flash. Yeah, we'll talk about it then.
yeah, but I think it's hard to like really get a good idea on who it is and for another couple of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like we don't know if Roy's coming back to play present day Roy.
Right.
Who knows what's happening there? Because if he's just playing that future stuff going on there, then that obviously we're not going to be getting Roy as the Green Arrow, but like it obviously has to be someone we know. Like
Pagey, somebody, Chessmaster
that.
goes, Pagey, Bebo are stacked on top of each other under the hood wearing a green suit. I'd be more okay with that than I would with future William coming back, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Melissa is power. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a moment. Hold that thought, because I see a lot of people saying that, and I don't understand where that's coming from. But we will get to that at the end after we talk about the Flash. Okay, so it goes, I really don't like William. The character is bland and the actor is bad. Professor Zoom, I could not agree more. I hate the character of William. I hated him last season. I don't like him this season. I just don't like kids on shows like this unless they're trained to fight, because then they become plot devices. And that's annoying to me. Just like a little baby, I'm talking about the Flash now, a little baby on a show can be used as a plot device because they can't defend themselves, and they will make characters question their morality in a time of stress. So it's just one of those things that I'm not a big fan of. As far as Black Lightning goes, a lot of people ask me about this. I'm only going to talk about it real quick. I watch Black Lightning, but Black Lightning is not part of the Arrowverse, so I find it really awkward to include it in my Arrowverse stuff, because where do I draw the line at that point? If I include Black Lightning, do I include all the Marvel shows? You know what I mean? Like, it's on the same network, and they've advertised it with these shows, but it's not part of the Arrowverse. Should they include it in the Arrowverse, then I could start covering it. That would be the easy way for me to do it. But I still watch it. It's just that I don't... It's awkward to put it in with everything else. Supergirl is in the extended Arrowverse, as I call it. We know that she can cross over. Black Lightning has not been proven to cross over yet. So...
But with its ratings this season, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a crossover later on this season.
All right, so any other questions about Arrow before we move on to tonight's Flash? Because I know everybody wants to talk about Cicada and all that stuff. So any questions, any thoughts? Give me your scores, 1 to 10 in the comment section. What did you think of Arrow's season premiere? Let me know, 1 to 10. And you can type in like why you think it's good or bad or whatever. Okay, so let's move on. We're going to move on to tonight's Flash. All right, so you guys have been asking about it. Here we are. We've arrived. So tonight's Flash was the second episode of the season, because it started a week early, as you guys know. And it felt a little weird to me. I don't think it really picked up steam for me until about the last 15 minutes of the episode, the last two portions. Yeah. I think Block was kind of like... Okay, so let's talk about the villain, because I want to get this out of the way while it's on my mind here. When you are a metahuman with powers like Block, why do you have to sell weapons when you could literally go into a bank and take as much money as you want? I don't understand that. Like, if you're a metahuman who has the ability to do those kinds of things, you have no reason to... You're basically taking an extra step. Like, if you want a nice car, you could go and get the nice car without anyone stopping you. So why are you doing illegal stuff to go do more illegal stuff? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Can anybody explain that to me?
Plot. P-L-O-T.
Because I'm thinking, like, she's talking about doing, like, this arms dealership stuff or whatever, and I'm like, you could literally walk and get whatever you want. You know, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Is she? I don't even think she's a character from the comics, is she? I don't remember her from the comics at all.
Block is from the comics, but they've completely changed the character. Like, Block himself is dense, so he can make himself really dense.
Right.
But they've changed it so she can, like, crush and put him in a small area and obviously make him dense, like a little meat cube and stuff like that.
Right.
So, I think that ability worked better the way that they did on the show rather than if they actually took the character and, a perfect translation.
How would you want her to act? I don't understand the question. I just explained it. If you're a criminal and you don't have meta powers, you have a reason to do like shady, underhanded black market stuff. But if you're a metahuman with the ability to do what she could do, you have no reason to do that. You don't need the money when you can go just take whatever you want. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, Mike Horan here with a $5 super chat. I feel like they're course correcting with the Flash, dialing back Ralph. Barry told his group instead of lying for once and showed us Cicada right away. Mike, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So let's talk about that for a second. We find out at the very beginning of the episode that Nora and Barry come clean to everybody. There's no digging or searching or finding out later. I actually thought that was refreshing for once, that they actually did that right away. What did you think about that?
Well, yeah, I agree with you. But you know what the most annoying thing is?
What's that?
They showed it in the goddamn trailer. Why would you show that in the goddamn trailer, you idiots? Like, it didn't need to be in the trailer. I couldn't believe it when I saw that extended trailer or bonus trailer.
Yeah, see, I never watched that extra trailer, so I didn't see that it was in the trailer.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my, why? Why would you put it in the trailer?
It's getting to the point where we almost don't even want to watch the trailers. Like,
well, no, I brought that up to you, how they posted that stupid video on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and it was like really fast, and it showed different parts. It's like, why? Well, why are you putting this on the internet? Stop.
Yeah.
Stop, you idiots. Just release a basic trailer, and people might be like, oh, pay, but it's like, if anything, I'd be like saying, give me more trailers, I can make more videos and stuff like that, but I don't want to. I just want the, your basic promo stuff, and that your basic one promo, keep it simple, maybe show one cool thing, like maybe the villain for the episode, or maybe Cicada doing something, or something like that, but
I mean, I didn't see that trailer, but that's interesting that you mentioned that, because I didn't know that, so that's pretty funny.
It's just like, because no one would have been thinking, everyone would have been thinking, okay, they're probably going to keep it a secret for X amount of episodes. But
I honestly feel like the only reason that they did it like that is because they knew that this episode with Cicada was coming up, and Nora was going to have to dish out some dirt, because it's obvious that she knows something. I mean, by the end of the episode.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess we'll jump into that eventually when we get down there.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, but it's obvious.
I think I've told you, like, I think we'll talk about it last night. It's like, I'm pretty sure that theory is somewhat correct.
Right.
Yeah, in some way, but obviously we'll get to that.
So let's get the fluff out of the way then and talk about the stuff with Caitlin and Cisco and Ralph or whatever. Ralph is becoming extremely likable now. I think they're doing much better at writing his character. He's not... Last year he was like the fish out of water character, but this year he feels like more of like just that crazy uncle that you have where he does really silly stuff or whatever, but you kind of put up with it. It's more corny than sexist now. I mean, the stuff he said to Caitlin was a little kind of like, oh, baby, blah, 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 whatever. Like, I can see, but it fits in line with his personality, so I can't really knock it too much.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with Gypsy, we talked about this earlier, it's unnecessary. Why are we still doing this? And there's definitely filler for the episode because there's really no reason. If you take that out of the episode and you just skip ahead to his conversation with Caitlin and the stuff about her father, none of that mattered. None of it mattered. It was just like pointless stuff. There was no character development for Cisco. If anything, it served to make Ralph more likable, which I guess if that's what they were going for, they accomplished that, I think. But, overall, I mean, it was just kind of fluff, I mean, like you said, it felt like parts of this were filler. It's a second episode filler, basically. And Cisco feels different. I don't know what it is about him this season, but it's like even last year when the series was off a little bit in tone, Cisco still felt like Cisco. But these last 2 episodes, it's like I'm not sure if they're trying something different with him. He just feels different to me.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing necessarily, because as I was saying, like that whole gypsy thing, like it happened like in whatever episode it was towards the end of last season, but like not in the last 2 episodes, like 4th or 5th last episode. So if you're not going to deal with it then you can't deal with it now. You know?
Right.
It just seems like...
Yeah, so Cisco's not as funny. Well, it's because Cisco was the funny person, but now they have Ralph as well. So...
Yeah. They're basically turning into like beginning of season 3 Cisco, when it was all angry at Barry and stuff like that.
He goes, or Laura says, I think the actor's probably tired of not getting a storyline. Well, yeah, I mean, he does... Last year, they didn't really give him much. I mean, he had the stuff with Breacher and Gypsy. That was pretty much it. And then this year, we're not getting much so far. But next episode is a big Cisco vibe episode. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get more, for that.
Yeah.
Finn, you're human. Welcome. Yeah, we've covered Arrow and Supergirl. We're just now... You haven't really missed that much of The Flash. We're just kind of talking about the fluff stuff. Hey, Mark Hayden's here. You missed Supergirl, Mark. Oh, that's your favorite show. Ben says I shouldn't be here. So anyway, there's a lot of fluff. Let's talk about Iris real quick, because I was actually really happy with Iris in this episode. She was doing investigative reporting. Imagine that. Iris West was doing what she's really good at. And doing it really well.
Yeah, like my only issue, it's not an issue with the actual episode. It's an issue going forward. And I don't know if we talked about this, but it was like, I mentioned a couple of times in my videos, but Candice Patton has sort of like, not flat out said it, but definitely referenced that maybe what Todd Helbing's saying about Iris's journalist storyline is maybe a bit oversold, maybe. It might not be as true as he's trying to make it out to be. Because she was asked about it at a convention. She almost sounded like disappointed talking about it. It was like, I was like, oh God. So obviously we're going to get it because we got it this episode, at least a part of it. But hopefully it's not like one of those things where it's just sporadic, where it's like, okay, we need Iris to be a reporter. Okay, let's shove it into the episode. You want it to be consistent.
Right. But I'm actually loving Iris this season so far. I think last week and this week, she's done really good.
Yeah. The only thing I think you can nitpick from this episode about her is arguably the scene where it's Barry, Nora, and Iris at the computer. And I think she just randomly pulled something off the top of her head.
Probably,
and just like, hold on. I was like, hold on, slow down. How do you know that? Like,
right.
I understand why they did it, because Cisco and Caitlin weren't there. They're doing their own thing. So those people, Iris.
This was that
Barry
case
and Nora
of like season 4 Iris, where they just have her do stuff when nobody else is there, which is really what it was.
that was the only thing. It's just basically like, oh crap, the main quarterback's out. Where's the sub? Okay, just bring them in quickly and just say this line. That's about it. And then I guess Flashpoint Wolf put in the Team West Allen. I think Nora's reaction to that line was basically everyone.
What did you see that? Did you guys see that? Did everybody see that? If you go back and you watch that scene, Nora has a disgusted look when Iris says that. When she goes, Team West Allen, Nora's got this like
shady look.
Like she's looking at her like, really?
It's like, oh crap. Yeah, it's like when someone tells a crap joke and you're like, oh well, that was embarrassing.
I was like, what is going on with it? Like, Nora is so shady towards her mom, and they even addressed it in the episode when Iris is talking to her dad, and she's like, I just don't know what to do, and blah blah blah. And he's like, well, just let it happen. It'll happen on its own time and everything. And I'm like, I want to know what happened. Like, I really want to know, because it's not even like Nora is okay. So it's not like she's doing it around a corner anymore, or she's doing it like off camera. She's doing it right in front of her mother's face. And I'm like, what is going on here? It's crazy. It was super shady. You're right, Victor.
Yeah. And like, it wasn't just like weird acting by Jessica Parker Kennedy. Like that was intentional. Like that was meant to be her reaction to that. Because they sort of like focused on her face. Like they made sure that Nora's face was...
I'm going to have to check Twitter and Reddit and Tumblr to find out the reaction from the fandom for that one, because I know people aren't going to be happy about that, how she looked at her. That needs to be a GIF. If somebody could make that GIF and send it to me on Twitter, that would be awesome.
I'll tell you what, Barry had a good reaction. I think it was from Ralph in this episode.
Yeah.
I think he had the best reaction. It was hilarious. I'm gonna have to get it off YouTube later on.
Yeah, a lot of people are
Make it
talking
into a
about
GIF.
Joe West now, about how he was sitting down and he's not doing very much. I don't think there's anything going on with Jesse Martin. I mean, I haven't heard anything about it. He's not as involved with the team right now, and I think they're moving towards making him off the show.
My theory is that they've just had a baby, so he's probably not sleeping.
That's probably true. They're just making. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I would go with that. Yeah.
Because that's literally my explanation for it all. So he's literally just tired Joe. And
also,
as I said last episode when he's on the couch.
I can't deal with Shui anymore. Like, it's becoming too much now. It's like too much Shui. Too much Shui.
Yeah, they can't say it. He can't say it like every single time.
So Mike Haram with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Mike, for being supportive tonight. That's awesome. If Vibe loses his powers, do we lose our link to the multiverse? Are we to believe Cisco has tech for that now? Like when he made Supergirl in the crossover. So here's the thing. If Cisco loses his powers, he will use tech to do multiversal stuff. Like he just won't be able to teleport around and stuff. I think what they're trying to do is, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm completely, off base or whatever. I think they're trying to eliminate a lot of the magic buttons that we have on the show. Like things that we can do where you hit a button and you just solve a problem. Like for example, the satellite being gone. Now they have to do different things to solve problems because they don't have the satellite. If Cisco loses his powers, even for a short period of time, they don't have links to the multiverse. They don't have the ability to teleport around. So I think they're just trying to eliminate some of those magic buttons to make things happen. I could be completely wrong, but that's the way it feels to me right now on the show. Chessmaster has a good question. Whatever happened to the Speed Force symbols? Is it a plot hole? They haven't addressed it. We're only 2 episodes in. I'm not going to say they've dropped it yet. If we get about mid-season and we haven't addressed it, then I'll start to get worried a little bit. Cicada is one of the worst looking villains. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that. Let's get into that. So we saw the fight between Cicada and Gridlock, which I thought was really cool. What did you think of that fight, Pagey? Did you like that? I mean, it wasn't a very long fight, but I thought it was pretty neat. The very beginning, the fight between Gridlock and Cicada.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I was like, some people were complaining. It's like, oh, well, Cicada's an idiot. Why would he let him out? And I was like, because he has to let him out for him to use his powers so he can drain them with the dagger. So I was like, he can't. The thing that he's being held up in is to stop him using his powers. So Cicada can't do anything there.
Yeah.
So that was like actually a common complaint. Like people were trying to roast the episode for that.
Matt says Cicada's the dork from American Pie. He is. That is the guy.
Yeah, but like, I thought like the way that intro scene with him was really cool. How he's like all scarred up, and you think he's in like his secret base or something, and then it's like a locker room for his job.
Right.
I thought that was actually really well done. But with Cicada, it does feel like he is just going to be the first half of the season villain.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like a big bad.
Yeah, it feels like episode 7 he might be gone.
Yeah. Well, didn't they say that there was a rumor going around they were going to do like multiple story arcs this year?
Well, you got to remember, Caitlin's dad's still coming into it. So who knows what he's like, and who knows who he is connected to. Who's he been hiding away with this whole time? And he doesn't come in, until episode 6, I'm pretty sure. So that's episode 7, then we have the 100th episode, then the crossover, then it's mid-season break.
So Cicada may get wrapped up right before the 100th episode, most likely.
I would expect him to. I don't know. I don't think he'd be in the 100th episode. He might, but
that's a good point.
I don't know. It matters what they want to do. And then they said that the new rogues are going to be in this season, so I'd expect them to be in the back half.
I have to say that I was kind of surprised at how weak the episode felt overall. I didn't dislike it, but it definitely didn't feel like it didn't have the oomph of that premiere episode, and so
it felt it didn't lack the carry on. Like they maybe should have carried on a bit more.
Right. How do you feel about the Nora and Barry bond? It's okay. I mean, it's very obvious that she really looks up to her dad, and seeing Barry, and we also got CSI work in this episode, which was something we hadn't seen in a long time. So that was kind of fun. Will we get it the rest of the season? I don't know. They love to give us they love to tease us with that stuff.
My only issue with that is I said in my review, and I'll keep saying it until they properly reference it on the show. She can't keep going out, otherwise she will change the timeline.
Yeah, so let's address that then. Let's talk about that. So if Nora is going to be around for a good portion of the season, there's
Not all the
no
season,
way that she does not mess up the timeline. I mean, there's just no way.
Because even something as little as her going to like Jitters and getting a coffee, you know, and she uses. I know that sounds weird, and people are going, "Oh, that's nitpicking." It's not. Like if she goes gets a coffee, and they use a certain amount of milk, that makes them buy. You have to use more milk. I know it sounds stupid, but that's something.
It's
so
like
small.
it's like a domino effect, basically.
Yeah, it's like the butterfly effect. Like if you just like a flap of a butterfly's wing, harder or softer, can change the timeline.
Right. And then I think they threw out like, okay, so when Wally was there with the information from the Legends, and he said there's like soft things that you can do to the timeline, and there's hard things you can do to the timeline. One of them screws everything up, the other one not so much. But how long are we going to ride with that? You know what I mean? How long is that going to be the excuse for her being there? You know?
Well, I was like, okay, I'm fine with that excuse, but that's like with Legends, if they go back to like 1972, they're there and they do minimal stuff. They might do stuff, interact with people, but it's soft.
Right.
But it's because they're there for one episode. They're there for maybe X amount of time. But if Nora's here for 8 months,
right,
and she's constantly doing small fractures in the timeline and changing things, that basically builds up to her basically going and slapping like President Bush back in the year 2000.
Well, like when Barry went back in season 2 to talk to Eobard, that changed the storyline of Pied Piper, and he was only there for like a half a day. So,
yeah,
you know. Thank you for the super chat, Flashpoint Wolf E2 $2 super chat. If you have a question, drop it in. I don't know if you meant to do that without a question, but feel free to drop one. If I see it, I'll answer it. Let's see. The butterfly effect doesn't work in the Flash because time finds a way to make things okay. I don't know if I believe
that's
that.
a cop out. That's a cop out. You can't really say that.
I don't know if I believe that one.
Yeah, you can't really say that.
She's going to disappear at the end of the season. If that happens, I'll be fine with that.
Yeah. Did I tell you that theory that I was like, I'm pretty sure she's just going to disappear and then Barry and Iris will get twins?
That would be great.
And that's probably why they've called her Nora.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they're going to do Dawn and Dawn.
Yeah, and before anyone goes, Pagey, Nora's in the comics. That Nora in the comics was introduced after this Nora was introduced on the show. So they're not the same character.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and talk about Cicada and wrap this up. Cicada is a villain. Is he or is he not a metahuman? What do you think? Because there's a debate whether or not he's a metahuman. Some people are saying his powers come from the dagger with dark matter, and that the dagger itself is a metahuman artifact, but he's not an actual metahuman. What do you think?
I'd like to think he's a metahuman because they basically treated like that dagger like the sword and the stone, or like I think Cisco referred it to Mjolnir.
Right.
Like, so there has to be some sort of he has to be a metahuman in some way, shape, or form, or at least infected with dark matter.
I'm wondering if
to the point where he doesn't have powers, but to the point where he has a connection to that dagger.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. His metahuman powers could be the connection to the dagger. That's probably what it is. Cicada is Nora's brother. There's people saying that. Really? That's okay. So they say Cicada's from the future. So that's another option. Obviously, Nora knows who he is. Maybe he's appeared sooner than it actually supposed to happen. Maybe he's in a time period that he's not supposed to be in. You know what I mean? Maybe Cicada is supposed to be a villain from 30 years from now, but now he's in 2018 instead. Didn't the dagger?
He's human.
Go ahead.
No, he is human. If he was a meta, he wouldn't be covered with scars. Yeah, but you don't have to be a meta with regeneration abilities. You could just be a meta that can make bubbles come out of your hands or something.
Yeah, it says, didn't the dagger fly back? Then he has to have powers. Well, the dagger could be imbued with dark matter.
Okay, so, it's like linked to him in some way, shape, or form.
Nora is Reverse Flash, I heard. That's one of the biggest theories. But I don't know if I like after this episode. I don't know if I believe that or not.
I think if they did that, that'd be like, I think it'd be like almost in line with like Arrow making William travel back in time.
Brad says he stopped when Nora said dad. Yeah, I got that, but I think that's because he knows who Nora is. I don't necessarily think that means they're related.
No, the reason that Cicada did that is because it was like, well, crap, my family's dead. Why would I leave this daughter without a father?
Yeah,
and kill it and kill it.
Yeah,
that's exactly why he stopped.
Yeah,
that's exactly why he stopped. Because the whole thing with his storyline is that his family is Gonski, and it's due to metahumans that they're gone. Obviously, we don't know exactly why that's the case. Is it did like metahumans knock on his door and come in and kill them, or was it the satellite incident and metahumans involved with that, or is it something else? Who knows? But metahumans are sort of a reason for his family not being here anymore. But that's the reason that he stopped.
Right.
Is because he was like, well, you know, he's a family man, so
that's true.
He's got, which shows that he has some compassion and some half decency.
Right.
But obviously, eventually, he's meant to become. I watched the promo. I think it said the most notorious serial killer in history. So, but yeah, the way that Nora, and I think I said this to you. Oh no, I said on my review. I don't know if I said it to you, but I was like, and I think I've also mentioned it to you, but before this episode, I was like, there's no way that Cicada is meant to be around now, because Nora studied the Flash Museum. She said it multiple times. She should know that Cicada is meant to pop up now. So he's obviously appeared either just a bit earlier or much earlier than he was meant to.
Right.
So hopefully this is an effect of Nora just messing with the timeline. I'm hoping it, because I can't stand this season going through and saying that Nora didn't have an effect on the timeline. I can't believe that.
So, like, Nora has obviously made other mistakes that we don't know about or that she's not admitting to yet. So I think that this may be an issue. I honestly think when the satellite exploded and there were dark matter fragments or whatever, this Cicada person got his powers, and, you know, maybe that's why he hates metahumans now. I mean, he's not deranged, so I don't know.
No, he just seems to be pissed off.
Finn, You're Human gave a $1.99 super chat. He says, Dagger is from Savitar, the piece that broke. You mean the thing on his arm that broke off last season? Season 3. Yeah, that's funny. Thank you for the super chat, Finn. It's good to have a laugh there. So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I think Cicada is definitely going to be an early season villain. I don't think he's going to go all season long. We'll have to wait and see. So in the comment section now, you guys know the routine. Give me your score, 1 to 10 for The Flash, and what you thought of it. I'm going to do my review for it, so you guys will get my score tomorrow. It'll be out sometime tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to talk about the crossover right now, because we are coming up on the 10-minute mark before the hour. So let's do that now. We're going to talk about that. Let me put up the picture for the crossover. Okay, so you guys really want to talk about this picture, which is fine. There's really not a lot to say about it, but I guess we'll have a little fun here at the end and talk about it. So this was released today, which is the official poster for the Elseworlds event. And I think Pagey, you, Ben, and Boba were all like chatting, waiting for this to pop up. And we were talking about like all of our ideas of what this poster was going to be. Like, you know, we were thinking, you said, is it going to be the Dr. Destiny cover, or what we're going to get? Is it going to be like the cover from last season, like the comic book cover with all the characters on it or whatever? So we've had all these ideas about what we're going to get. This honestly never occurred to me. Like when we saw this, I'm like, I had to do a double take and make sure it wasn't like a meme, you know, like a fan edit. I was like, what is this? Like, it's freaking Stephen Amell in the Flash suit and Grant Gustin in the Green Arrow suit. Like, thoughts on this? I mean, I know you did a video, but any extra thoughts that you've had today about this?
When I saw it, I was like, a meme has become reality, because this was a meme. Like, everyone was like, oh, Barry stuffed the timeline up again. Then even Oliver became Flash, so he became Green Arrow. And that was the first thing that ran through my mind. I was like, no way. Like, what is this crossover doing? I guess the big question around this is whether it is, like, whatever dimension they're in for this Elseworlds thing, whether it's just that Oliver Queen's the Flash, or whether Stephen Amell in this dimension is Barry Allen, and Grant Gustin is Oliver Queen. Mm-hmm. That's the thing I'm sort of wondering about.
It says Destiny will be rewritten. I think that's just for the crossover. It would be weird if something sticks when they're done. Like, it would be really weird if that happens.
That could also be referring to Dr. Destiny.
Ah, you know what? I didn't even think of that. That's true.
Yeah, that could be referring to Doctor Destiny and like him being able to change reality, because that's essentially his powers are. It's usually in like dreams and like nightmares, but I have a feeling they're going to make it literally reality he can change, which he does in the comics as well. But I think they're going to make it a bit more cinematic, if you want to call it, for the crossover.
The more I look at Stephen Amell in that Flash suit, the more I appreciate it. It looks really good on him compared to.
Well, that's the thing.
Grant.
Stephen Amell looks more like Barry Allen than Grant Gustin does.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And the thing is actually, I think he actually fits the cowl a bit better, because I think the issue with Grant Gustin is that his head's very tall.
Right.
He has a very.
And Stephen Amell has a round face, like I do, a round face.
Yeah,
of a narrow
like
face.
he has like a wide sort of head,
Right.
almost. So, I just think the cowl actually looks better on.
And who
Stephen
needs a
Amell.
chin strap when you got a beard? I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and you two hated the cowl. I still don't like it, Omega. I still don't like it. I just think it looks better on Stephen Amell in this picture. So, see, Mark, I think you're onto something. He says 3 self-contained Elseworlds stories. I would not be surprised if that's what we're going to get, because I feel like that may be what they're going to do, because you have 3 hours to tell a story, and with Dr. Destiny, they could literally do 3 self-contained stories. It would make the most sense. It would be easy, and I would be okay with that, because it's called Elseworlds, which means it's probably more than one story.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing we're talking about. Did we talk about this last night? How if the monitor's there, the monitor could be like the thing that connects them all together.
Right.
So he's going from all these different dimensions, and it might not be 3 different Elseworlds stories. It could be multiple versions. So we could see maybe 2 in the first episode, 3 in the second episode, and then maybe 1 or 2 in the last episode. And just the monitor going through all of them.
Hear me out here. Let's take a shot in the dark, right? So, is everybody familiar with the Christmas story with Scrooge, where he has the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future that comes in and shows him like the possibilities of life in different ways? Like, this is what life was like, blah, blah, whatever. What if our characters are depowered? They have no powers at all. And the monitor is taking them through these different stories, and they're literally there watching things play out. Like the fact that they're dressed up as bikers, maybe that is our Barry and Oliver, but they don't have powers. So they're there sort of participating in these stories, but they don't have their normal powers. So they show up on this world, and, you know, Oliver is the Flash and Barry is the Green Arrow, and they're watching the story unfold through the eyes of the monitor, or they're there as like viewers or something, you know? Because right now we're told that our versions of our characters are going to be part of this, but I can't imagine these are our versions. I can't imagine these are the guys we see every week.
The only thing I can think of is that they are our versions, and Dr. Destiny is just putting them in different scenarios.
Oh, man.
So technically, they're our versions, but like they literally are in a reality where Stephen Amell's or Oliver Queen just like, oh, I need to run to the bathroom, and he just zips off.
Can you imagine though? Like, Stephen Amell looks so good in this Flash suit. I know it's only like the top portion, but it looks so good on him. And actually, Grant Gustin doesn't look bad as Green Arrow.
Well, I don't know if he can, but the cowl is a completely different design. Like, it's not a different shape; it's a different design than what what Grant Gustin has this season. Like the lines on the top of the head actually are separate, but on Grant Gustin's they meet. They become they connect down the bottom. They sort of loop and connect to each other.
God, I just love the way Stephen Amell looks in the Flash.
So, but because of this, people are theorizing that they're going to give Grant Gustin a new one.
Well, my question though is, if we're talking about an alternate reality where Oliver Queen is the Flash, why would he be wearing the Flash suit from the future? Because that came from Nora. Wouldn't he be wearing the one from like the season 4 or season 3?
Well, that's the thing. I guess if Dr. Destiny's doing it and it isn't really a real reality, then it doesn't have to be real.
Yeah, that's true.
If that makes sense. Like,
it could be anything because he's altering it with his powers. It's not a real thing. Yeah, he's altering
it with his powers. So he's just altering it off what he knows, and that's the Flash suit that he sees. So that's what he generates.
You know what Grant Gustin reminds me of in this picture? Justin Hartley from the Smallville, the Green Arrow from Smallville. That's what it looks like to me because he's got the same type of like body type as him. Do you remember that? Do you remember the Green Arrow from Smallville?
Yeah, I was gonna say almost like Roy. Or like
Oh yeah. He does look a little bit like Roy.
Yeah, looks a bit like Roy when he was either Arsenal, even when he just posed as Green Arrow for that episode.
So
but
this is going to be so crazy with the amount of stuff we've seen already. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to get. Like I have no idea.
That's the thing. I'm interested to see like when they get into this reality where, you know, Oliver's a speedster and Barry's the archer. Obviously, I think it's obvious how Oliver's going to find out he's got these abilities. But it'd be funny to see how Barry realizes that he's an archer. I'd love if there's just tennis balls. And there's just tennis balls just randomly raining. And he just shoots an arrow. Just
right.
Throw back to the pilot of Arrow, but anyway.
But you see, Supergirl's not in this picture, which is kind of interesting. Well, Finn, You're Human, Smallville is actually worth the binge watch. If you have it on Hulu, watch the whole thing. Even though some of the later seasons aren't that great, I still would suggest watching it.
Yeah. Smallville's a good watch.
So what were you going to say about Supergirl? You were going to say something about Supergirl? You imagine what?
I could just imagine this being maybe like the Arrow episode. This could be the second episode. Mm-hmm. And it could just be very like, maybe to cut down on like Supergirl CGI costs and stuff. It could just be really Flash and Arrow for most of the episode doing some stuff, maybe with Batwoman. Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Comic Book Cast? Thank you for stopping in.
Well, Mark Hayden was saying that whatchamajigger, Power Girl. That's I think a lot of people think that Supergirl's going to be Power Girl in this crossover. Mm-hmm. And I was having a look. I was actually, I think I said it to Boba, and I was like, the Superman could be like Superman Prime. You know, like Superboy Prime when he's evil when he gets older. Because I'm pretty sure he has a black suit, or it looks very similar. Let me look it up. Superman Prime.
What's up, Armin? Thank you so much for stopping in. I didn't know that you came to the live stream, so thank you. I appreciate it. Power Girl. Yeah, people are bringing that up. I don't know if we're going to see Power Girl is one of those characters where if they did put her on a CW show, she's not going to be the Power Girl that you guys want her to be. Trust and believe we will not see that character. Is that what you're sending me, Pagey?
I just sent you Superman Prime.
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
Which is Superboy, basically when he gets like roided up on like solar energy.
Let me do this real quick. Window, add. Window. All right, and there we go. Right here is what you sent me. Let me close this over there.
So that could be what they're doing.
Yeah,
with him.
I imagine so. You're talking about with the Tyler Hoechlin suit, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, the Tyler Hoechlin suit. Because obviously it's not Blackest Night.
So we're talking about like, what in the world are we gonna like? I don't even know where to begin with this. Like, we're talking about some crazy like, I don't even know. Superboy Prime, like, or Superman Prime. Which one are we talking about here?
It's Superman Prime,
right?
But it's Superboy Prime once he gets like roided up.
Superboy like Prime is so broken, so broken. Can you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine Superboy Prime on a TV budget? Can you imagine what that would look like?
I don't really want to imagine it.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Armin, for the shout out. You guys are probably familiar with Comic Book Cast too. Huge channel here on YouTube. That guy's a workhorse. Your videos get pumped out faster than I could even do anything. The black suit is amazing. I'm legit hyped for this crossover because of that one image. So I'm going to say this. This is one thing, and me and Paige were talking about this, and it's a good thing that Armin brought it up. Whether or not they have the budget to do the things that they want to do on these TV shows, I love the fact that they're willing to take the opportunity to do them because the movies just aren't doing them. I said, how long ago did I say this? You might remember, maybe it was last year or the year before, that the Warner Brothers movies, instead of trying to do what Marvel is doing, just do Elseworld films. That's it.
Yeah.
Just do Elseworld movies. Make them all one-shots. Make them all these, like, if you go to the animated side, and I know you guys watch the animated movies. If you go to the animated side, get those guys to write the movies. Just get them to write them because they do these great one-shot animated movies that are good. I think there's maybe been 2 that I didn't like. Just do those. At least on the TV side, they're willing to take a risk and do something like this. You would never get something like this in the movies because they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't take the opportunity to do it. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Did you see the pic of Grant and Steve dressed in black biker outfits? Hilarious. Yeah, that's the Trigger Twins. The Trigger Twins revamped for the TV side, which is kind of interesting. Oh, we got 2 super chats here. Let me hit this up here. The Omega 499 super chat. Thank you so much. Says Superboy Prime punches reality and Earth 1 Laurel comes back. That would be interesting. Superboy Prime is so broken. When I tried to explain this character to my brother, he didn't believe it existed. He's like, I don't believe that character's real. I'm like, no, he's real. That would be hilarious. Thank you for the super chat. Markeel Scott says 199 super chat. Thank you so much, Markeel. He goes, Kara's attitude mindset annoys me. What about y'all? Okay, so we're going to just kind of jump around now because we're at the end. Are you talking about Kara from this season in particular? And if you are, then yes, the first episode was extremely poorly written. Her emotions and dialogue was all over the place. I don't know what happened because last season of Supergirl started out really strong. Then we had the Andrew Kreisberg drama. I told you guys it was going to affect the show. Nobody wanted to believe me. And the show fell off the rails. And, you know, we come into this season and we're dealing with schizophrenic Supergirl, which is a new character that we've never had before. She's mouthing off at, okay, Pagey. She's mouthing off at John. She's doing stuff out of character. It's really just crazy to me that we're still dealing with kind of writing that isn't consistent, because Supergirl's been around now for 4 seasons. There's no reason why that should happen. Now, Laura makes a good point because we're dealing with the split Supergirl this season. If they explain that's why she's been acting the way she's acting, then I would say, okay, I'm good with that. But right now, as it stands, we don't know that. We're just going on what we can see. And, yeah. Thank you so much, JX2 Gamer. I appreciate it. And you're awesome for coming in and seeing me. Let's see. Yeah, DC still owns the titles of the best. Fenrir Human says DC owns the best titles of superhero animated shows. I am extremely excited for Young Justice Season 3. It is probably the one thing on the DC Universe platform that I'm really looking forward to. And welcome back, Pagey. I just heard you come back. So
Yeah. Didn't want to interrupt your
it's okay.
question answering.
No. There's no Ruby this year. Yes, let's celebrate. Toast to that. Toast to no Ruby. I got nothing in my shot glass right now, but toast to no Ruby. What channel is Teen Titans on? It's on the DC Universe streaming service. So let's talk about that for a second. I found out, at least as far as I can tell, that the Titans show is not going to get released on Netflix until the whole season is aired. Is that true? Because that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I was sitting here going like, I was always going to buy the 1 month subscription, get like the 7-week trial, a 7-day trial. And it's like, okay, well, I'll do it now and then I'll just see when it comes out on Netflix. Still waiting for it to come out on Netflix. Still has not come out. So I don't know why they released that Netflix trailer, because it was so misleading and made people think it was going to be like a Riverdale, like a Black Lightning thing for people outside of America, where it came out weekly, whether it be the day after or like a week after, or either or, one of the two.
Yeah.
But there's no release date for it. I just went to my Netflix and just opened it up. It doesn't even have like an official background. It just has Titans in like Times New Roman there, and it just says led by Batman's former protege Robin, blah blah blah. Doesn't have a release date or anything like that. Doesn't even have the actors' names.
So here's the thing about Titans is why would they release that Netflix trailer so early if they're going to wait 3 months to put it out?
Yeah, it's so confusing.
That's very weird. But Army made a good point. He said maybe they're waiting for it to air completely in the US before they release it. And that's probably why. The distribution for that is a mess. It's a mess for that. And see, Omega says, sorry, not paying that much for freaking something I can't prove yet. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because you're like taking a shot in the dark. Do I want it? Do I not want it? Because here's the thing. I don't really care about a Stargirl series. I'm sorry, guys. I don't. Like, that series is so non-important to me. I can't even begin to announce that. Swamp Thing, I'm kind of interested. Doom Patrol looks really good, though. Like, that's one where I'm like, I think that might be pretty cool. But I'm really excited about the 3rd season of Young Justice. So that's just me. I'm hoping that it's going to be really good. We'll have to wait and see, because I really loved Young Justice. Is one of those shows where I think on TV it didn't do that great, but it kind of picked up steam on Netflix, and then they yanked it off of Netflix. And then they put it on their own streaming service. So if you want to watch Young Justice now, you have to either find a way to watch it online. I'm not going to condone anything like that. Or you have to watch it on the DC Universe streaming service. Let's see. Are we getting an evil team in Supergirl this season? Like a team of bad guys with Supergirl? Like the evil Supergirl? Probably not. I think she's just going to be like, it'll be like some evil organization that's controlling her. That's probably going to be it. I am curious though, like how are they going to combine them back together? That's going to be the weird part, because it took place in Reign's dimension. So I don't know about that. The Lois and Lex show. Oh, you're talking about Metropolis. Yeah, I don't care about that. Yeah, I don't care about that show.
That got shut down before it even stood up, I think.
The Omega says the streaming bubble is going to burst soon. You, sir, are absolutely correct. Ren goes, Young Justice did well on TV. It was canceled due to toy sales. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Let's see. Imagine they gave Ezra Miller from DC Flash Justice League movie and put him on the upcoming Crossbow. Okay, so here we go. I don't think we're ever going to get a Flash movie. I know it's not been officially canceled, but at this point, I don't know if it's going to even happen. We'll have to wait and see. Do you think XS will appear in the crossover? No. What are you going to say, Pagey?
Oh, no, I was going to say the Flash movie just seems like one of those things where they're just basically, I think they're going to be waiting until to see how maybe Aquaman performs, or Aquaman, however you want to say it.
Right.
See how that performs, and then maybe Shazam. Because it was meant to start filming at the beginning of next year, like maybe a month before Shazam went to cinemas. Now it's been moved to the end of that year, so they're probably going to wait and see how Shazam goes in cinemas. And because you think Flash would have like maybe like a somewhat similar tone to Shazam,
right,
for their movie.
So they would actually be very similar movies, probably, if I had to guess.
Yeah, like even costume wise with the red and the goddamn lightning bolt as well. But
okay,
like I understand, like the excuse that they gave, I guess makes sense. Like they want to get that 3rd Fantastic Beast movie out, but it's just about like how many times they delayed this goddamn movie.
Isn't that a WB property, Fantastic Beast?
Yeah. But Ezra Miller's obviously
that's guaranteed money. That's guaranteed money. The Flash movie isn't. Sorry. Turbo Flan. Sorry, I did miss a super chat. Thank you guys for bringing that to my attention. $2 super chat from Turbo Flan. I hope you're still here. He said, did either of you see Venom and Titans episode 1? Okay, so let's go down here. Krypton, yo, love it. Thank you, Comic Book Cast. Yeah, I love Krypton too. I can't wait to see the next season. So Turbo Flan, did we see Venom? Yes, I saw Venom. I guess you're asking my opinion of it because I did not do a review of it. It is, to me, like one of those, you go out, you get really drunk, and you don't care about the quality of the film, and then you watch a bunch of crazy stuff happen, and a bunch of bad jokes, and you call it a day. I mean, that's pretty much it. Venom is a movie that I think it's a cash grab for Sony. I think it's Sony still trying to punish Marvel for whatever reason. I wish it was better. I like Tom Hardy. I think he was the best actor in the movie because no one else was really given anything to work with. So, my opinion of Venom is, okay, it's making a bunch of money. There's a lot of bad movies that make money. So that doesn't really justify it being a good movie to me, right? So my personal opinion is I thought Venom was just okay. It's one of those, like, I didn't think it was horrible. I didn't think it was great. If you like Venom as a character and you want to spend $7-10 on a ticket, go watch it. If not, wait for it to come out on Netflix. It's really not something you have to go see in a theater. And it benefited from a couple of things. Number one, we haven't had a really big superhero movie since the early summer. Well, we had Ant-Man and the Wasp, but since then we really haven't had anything big. There's a drought on those kinds of movies. People were thinking it was going to be the next Deadpool. So, I mean, it had a lot of things working in its favor. I'm not taking anything away from it. It's making money. That's great. Sony's just trying to get a cash grab. It is what it is. Pagey, any thoughts on Venom? Did you see it? What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Very forgettable. Like, I didn't have any, like, a lot of superhero movies, comic movies, I'll go see them twice. I think the only 2 movies recently where I haven't had the desire to go see them twice were Ant-Man and the Wasp and Venom.
Mm-hmm.
I just was like, okay, cool. It was okay. But
Right.
then had no desire to, basically forgot those movies after them.
Right.
Well, Venom almost straight away, and Ant-Man and the Wasp maybe like a couple of days.
As far as Titan Season 1, I didn't do an official review for it. I am going to review Titans, but I didn't do a review for the first episode. Put it this way. Titans, to me, is a mediocre TV show. That's kind of what it is. The fight scenes were not great. Robin's the only real hand-to-hand fighter they have, and that fight scene wasn't that good, to be completely honest. I think Starfire is going to change quite a bit. It's kind of funny that everybody was calling her a Lady of the Night. That's what she ends up being in the show.
That's actually what she was.
And, Raven, the actress that plays Raven, wasn't convincing, really. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of my incoming demonetization. One of my biggest... It's sort of weird because the actress that plays her is only like 13 or 14, and I've seen a lot of people like over-sexualizing a 13 or 14.
That's so gross. I can't believe
it's so
that.
gross. It's actually ridiculous. Some of the Twitter accounts I'm seeing, unfortunately, even some people in my goddamn Discord, I've seen it as well. Just like, holy crap, tone it down, please. I think she was actually, I know she was really young when they started filming this, because if you look at the actress now, she looks much different than she did when she was filming the show.
Right.
Like, I know she doesn't have the same hair, but she looks much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's definitely grown. So, like, it's going to be interesting to see how season 2 is.
Okay, so here's another thing about Titans, and it's not about the quality of the show. When they started filming Titans, they were filming it as a show that was planned to be binge watched. Like, you were going to watch it several episodes in a row. So you could have slower pacing in certain episodes because you know that you're going to watch more than one. Well, since they decided not to do that, you can see in the very first episode that it's intended to be binged watched, but they're doing it week to week. And it's so frustrating. Is that another spider in your house?
No, he's just barking at absolutely nothing.
So my general thoughts on Titans is it's not worth... If you are going to get the DC streaming service just for that one show, it's not worth it. Period. If that's the only reason you're getting it, then don't do it, right? If you like all the other DC properties that you can't find anywhere else, like the animated movies and access to new comic books and things like that, I would say it's probably worth it to buy it. But coming from somebody that paid for a year already, if I were someone just looking into it and I thought I'm going to get it for Titans, don't do it. It's not worth it. The show's not that great. It may get better later on, but I would say wait for it to come out on Netflix if you're not in the United States and watch it all at once. And if you are in the United States, wait for it to get done, pay for 1 month on the streaming service, watch it all at one time, and then cancel the streaming service. That's the truth. That's what I would do. So, that is another super chat real quick I want to answer. Omega says, 199 super chat, thank you so much. Daredevil Season 3 hype or no? You don't know how hype I am for Daredevil Season 3. The early reviews for the first 4 or 6 episodes have said it's the best superhero TV show that Marvel's ever done. So I am very hyped for it. Now, let me be straightforward about this. Anytime I see something come out saying that it's the best thing ever, it's the next this, it's the next that, you can't top it, it's this, I always get a little worried because then it sets a level of expectation when people go into it. So it could be people are going to watch it and go, this isn't the best show I've ever seen. It's the worst one I've ever seen. It's possible that could happen. But I'm excited for it. I'm gonna watch as much of it as I can over the weekend. I love Daredevil. What about you, Pagey? Are you gonna binge watch it?
Well, I've got the first 6 episodes to watch from Netflix. I've only watched one. I've only watched the first one.
Right.
I watched it last night, but
Not.
yeah, it's without spoiling it. I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't spoil it, but
very...
just your general. Just give a general idea of your level of excitement for what you're watching. And so,
off the first episode, I think the hype is. Oh, I was going to say the hype is deserved.
Okay.
That's
okay. Good.
The best way to put it, but. I'm gonna try and I want to try and finish those first 6 episodes before it's actually.
And I'm mad at you for
Friday.
getting that because I tried to get on that list and it didn't happen. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I won't hold it against you. Let's see. I thought Tegan Croft was an Aussie. Is she?
She is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And so is the guy that plays Robin, Brenton Thwaites. They're both Australian.
All right. So, yeah. So my overall thoughts on that, just wrapping it up, is I think Mark Hayden said something about, does Titans lower my expectations or my hype for the other shows? No, I'm still Young Justice season 3. I'm still really excited for that. I think it's going to be good. If anything, if DC does anything right, it's animated stuff. So I'm not too worried about that one. As far as like, Doom Patrol is so weird and quirky that I'm just interested in what they're going to do with it. Like, it's such a niche comic book series. So, What do you think? Are you excited for it at all?
Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And also, just I think you'll be able to base your excitement when they appear on Titans. I think episode 5, Doom Patrol's in Titans. So, I think then you'll be able to go, okay, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. But I'm interested to see like. Because people weren't cast until late, so I don't know how. Maybe it's just maybe 2 of them are in Titans. I'm sort of confused. How
aren't a lot of the characters, like the ones on set, actually like stunt people? They're just a lot of the actors are just doing the voices.
Yeah, like Robot Man. Is it Robot Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what is it, Mr. Nobody?
Yep.
Oh no, Elastigirl's in it. So Elastigirl is in Titans, but I don't know who else would be. Because I know that Elastigirl was cast to be in Titans, but she would also be in Doom Patrol. So unless it's like literally, Robot Man and maybe Elastigirl, and they're the people that get there.
Right.
Because I think that's how Beast Boy's brought into it, because he was with Doom Patrol, and that's sort of his backstory. But I don't know. I'm sort of confused how they're going to.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm excited for. No, to answer the question plainly, no, Titans doesn't reflect my hype for the other shows. Like, I look at everything as an individual property. I don't base it on other stuff. Elijah has a question. We're going to wrap it up here in a second. We're already 20 minutes after the hour. So, Elijah says, do you think the timeline is messed up because Cicada shows up too early, is killing metas that were alive in Nora's future? Yeah. I mean, that's pretty, they're trying not to like make that seem obvious, but I think it's pretty clear that's what's going on. They made Raven an emo. Interesting. She's always been kind of emo to me in general, so I don't know.
I think
like
Raven's just Raven.
goth / emo, but that's just me. I heard they're doing Batgirl for DC streaming service. That would be weird with a Batwoman and a Batgirl series out at the same time. I mean, they might be, but I also heard they're doing Batgirl for the movies. So are they going to do like Batwoman, Batgirl? I mean, why not? Why not? I mean, they're doing everything else. So anyway, we're going to wrap it up there, guys. It's already an hour and 23 minutes past, from what we're going to be doing here. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can leave it in the comment section after the video is done. I'll try to go through and answer some of them. But you can join us again next week if Pagey's free. If not, I'll be here. Maybe Paige will be here. We'll have to see. Next week for the Tuesday after party, be the same time, same bat time, same bat channel. So no, we have not talked about Batgirl because there's not a lot of news about it yet. Anyway, so we'll see you guys next week. My review for Flash will be up tomorrow. I think, Pagey, your review is up already, correct?
Yeah, I uploaded him on YouTube. It was all over the job.
So go show Pagey some love and see his video. Make sure it gets some views because YouTube is acting weird. Anyway, we'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Sleep good. And we will see you guys in the next live stream. Take care.